Whenever God is trying to teach me something, I see these themes repeated throughout my day, sometimes throughout my week. And because God knows that I really need repetition to learn, sometimes these themes are repeated throughout a season. Speaking of seasons, Merry Christmas. My name's Jordana Sadri. I'm a life group pastor at our Vista campus, and I love the Christmas season. I love everything about it. I love the lights, I love the presents, I love the parties, all of it. I am a uber extrovert, and I can get so excited about Christmas that honestly, sometimes I get so distracted by all of the fun and shiny things that I miss out on the true joy of what it is that we're celebrating this holiday season, and that is the birth of Jesus, that sweet little baby that we put out our manger scene to celebrate, who's lying on a bed of hay next to the donkeys and the camels. This season, I've tried to be really intentional about slowing down and preparing my heart and my home for this Christmas season. Well, just because it's Christmas and we're decorating and we're doing all the things doesn't mean that the day-to-day stuff stops. We've got kids in elementary school, and every Monday the routine is the same. When they get home from school, they drop their backpacks, unload their lunch boxes, and our kids come home every Monday from school with a memory verse. And this week, my 9-year-old son came home and said, "Mom, this week's verse, it's a big one. It's a hard one. It's from the Old Testament." And I thought, well, for sure, this week's verse is going to be a Christmas verse, and sure enough, it is one of my absolute favorite and one that might be familiar to many of you. And it is found in the Old Testament in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, and it says this: "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders. He will be named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." Now, it's helpful for us to understand that when the prophet Isaiah is writing this, it's 700 years before Jesus is even born. So it is so wild that when Jesus does come, he fulfills this prophecy to a T, precisely. Let's take a look at it. For to us a child is born. This verse is personal. This verse is so specific to us, to you, and to me. A son is given, the greatest gift ever given, a son of infinite value. I tell my son all the time, "Buddy, you're my favorite son." And I can tell him that he's my favorite son because, you probably guessed it, he's my only son. I tell my one and only daughter that she's my favorite as well. And when God sent his son to earth, he gave up his favorite for us, to live among us and to die for us. Then Isaiah says he'll be named these 4 names: Wonderful Counselor. A counselor understands our situation. Our counselor imparts wisdom and guidance and lights up the stuff that's going on in our lives. Jesus understands us when we're at our best and when we're at our worst, when we are strong and when we are weak. And he is a mighty God. Even though Jesus came in human form like a sweet little baby, he is still fully God. When he walked this earth, he was fully human, and yet still fully walking in his deity as God. Everlasting Father, you're his favorite son. You are his favorite daughter. He's our Father, and his love and care for you has no end. It is everlasting. And the Prince of Peace, he came to reconcile, redeem, and restore us to God and us to one another. He is the ultimate source of true peace. The encouragement today and every day is that you and I have 24/7 access to this Jesus, to this wonderful counselor and mighty God and everlasting Father and Prince of Peace. Now get this, I told you about how God just has to repeat things for me because, I don't know, I just need the extra help. And hearing something once just doesn't always stick. Later that night, after the kids got to bed and we cleaned everything up, I rummaged through the closet to find my Hobby Lobby bag with the Christmas cards that I had bought a few days earlier. And sure enough, I just had to chuckle. There are these beautiful black cards, and on the front, there's a sweet in gold manger scene with the palm trees and the donkey and the camel and little baby Jesus, and in beautiful gold font, Isaiah 9:6. For he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, Mighty God, and Prince of Peace. And on the inside of the card, there's a sweet prayer, and it says this Christmas and always, we pray that the joy of Jesus would be with you. And that is my prayer for you today, friends. Have a great one.